What are some of the biggest industry secrets held tight by insiders? Well, thanks to a recent Reddit thread garnering nearly 25,000 comments from former and current workers, many are secrets no longer. Joining us now for the big reveal is MarketWatch's Quentin Futrell. Quentin, great to see you.
You too.
So some of these are pretty scary revelations. How is it that they all came out on Reddit?
So somebody posted a link to say, what are some of the secrets in your industries? And, you know, customer service people won't tell you, but you know who will tell you? Former employees and even current employees.
Absolutely. And there's some scary, scary stuff that they did say on this thread. Let's start with the former or current airline attendants. What did they reveal that you're never again going to do on an airplane?
Right. Take the ice. So Airlines for America and the industry group say they make sure that all the water is clean, and you know they have very strict rules about this.
Sure.
But when you have ice in some of the containers, they say are not cleaned as often as they should be on some of these airlines. And also one flight attendant said, like, what do you expect? I'm touching everything. I'm going down the aisle.
Yeah.
I'm putting my scoop in. The ice is there. There are germs. Somebody's handing me their credit card.
Yeah.
You've got like 100 people maybe being served.
And it's well documented about the germs on planes.
Studies have backed this up to show that there's a lot of bacteria on planes, and a lot of people bring it and they pass it on to those ice cubes.
Yikes, yikes, yikes. That's so scary. Okay, so moving on now. Why should you never click unsubscribe on those emails you don't want?
So there is a law that says that if you do that, then the company has to unsubscribe you if they're based in the US, but you don't know where these companies are based. And oftentimes, when these emails are going out so randomly, and when you press unsubscribe, you're confirming that there's a human being on the other end of that email. What's more, that email might be unsubscribed for that email list, but you could go onto a whole new, more valuable, there's a human at the end of this email list.
Oh my gosh, so what do we do about those annoying emails?
So you need to flag them, you can spam them.
Spam them,
You block them. There are lots of ways to do it. And sometimes those links are also malware, so you have to be really, really careful.
Very good to know. Now, this is really scary to me. What about hotels? I always suspected that those comforters were not entirely clean, but now you're confirming this for me.
They don't get changed in many hotels.
Gross.
Guest to guest, because they change the sheets.
Right, but so how often do they clean or change the comforters?
So whenever they look like they might be in need of a cleaning.
Oh no!
Yes, and there have been many. It's not just this Reddit thread. There have been many other notices published on the internet from hotels that have cleaning policies, and it's every couple of months for the comforters.
But someone on this Reddit thread actually admitted to something called popping the sheets.
Right, popping, which is a hotel term among some of the staff, where they just sort of pull them down a bit.
And don't actually change them.
Yeah, and they clean them off. And there have also been cases of people leaving notes saying, if this note is still here, your sheets haven't been cleaned.
Oh, that's
They have been found.
disgusting.
Not often, but it has happened.
And they say a good manager keeps on top of those things.
Right, and it depends on the quality of the hotel,
Right,
of course.
Oh my gosh. All right. Now, there is some good news at the end of this.
That doesn't happen where you stay.
No, this gosh, I hope not. But there is some good news at the end of this Reddit thread.
I wanted to include this because it's sweet.
So child care workers often lie to parents by omission, but for a good cause.
Right. So if your kid is going to have their first steps and some person is paid to like take care of your kid while you're off like earning money, put food on the table, they're not going to tell you.
You don't want to hear that your kid's first steps happened at daycare.
Your kid might be saying mama to the childcare provider.
But they won't tell you.
They won't tell you. And I know, you know what? I wanted to finish on that because I felt like there are some things that employees won't tell you that you don't need to know.
And as a parent, I appreciate that. I don't want to know that it happened at daycare.
I really want to just pretend that it happened when, you know.
You want that moment. You want the pleasure of that moment, right, as a parent. Quentin, thank you so much for revealing all of those secrets, some of which were not so bad. A few.
Some worse than others.
Some worse than others. Thank you so much for that.